What's going on, everyone? This is Lior with Compass, and in this video we're going to be talking about what the cost of living is like around the Boston area, and we're going to be talking about home prices, taxes, utilities, and food and groceries. So let's get at it. Hi everyone, this is Lior with Compass out of Boston, and in this video we're going to go over what the cost of living is like around the Boston area. Now before we get into that, two quick things. Number one, guys, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, give me a subscribe. I do tons of new videos every single week all about what it's like living in Boston, different neighborhood overviews, tips on buying and selling. So if you haven't subscribed, subscribe below. And number two, if you guys are even thinking about doing anything with real estate, anything like buying, selling, investing, leasing, whatever it is, shoot me a call, send me a text, send me a video. I get so many calls from you guys watching my videos, and I absolutely love helping you. So reach out to me and I will take care of you. So let's get into today's content, which is what the cost of living is like around Boston. And for this particular video, I'm going to kind of stay outside of core Boston, right? So outside of downtown. And I'm going to be basically focusing on areas like Southie or South Boston, like Dorchester, like Jamaica Plain, Brighton, Rosendale, Roxbury. Now, there's obviously some variance between even these neighborhoods, but I'm going to kind of lump them together for the purpose of this video. So let's start with home prices, right? Because that's the big one. So home prices around these areas can be quite pricey, right? I mean, your smallest condos, you're typically starting to look somewhere around the high 300s. And those usually get you smaller units. If you wanted to go into bigger units, like 1,000 square feet, you're typically looking mid-high fours and up. If you're going to be looking at single families, it's going to be even more expensive, right? Your single families typically start around the mid-high fours or so. Again, there's some variance by neighborhood and obviously condition, but that's probably as low as you'll find for the most part. Just because it's the area, so the area's obviously been very, very expensive, and home prices have gone up the last 5-10 years. Now, if you're going to be renting, rent is also kind of expensive here. So let's do it as an example, a 2-bedroom unit. In most of these areas, it's unlikely you're going to be finding an apartment for maybe under $1,800 per month. That's probably as low as you'll find. Most of these areas, you're really going to be looking at around $1,900, $2,000, up to about $2,200, $2,300, and that's just kind of for your standard apartment. Obviously, if you're going to be looking at luxury apartments with more amenities, they're going to be much, much more expensive. But your kind of average rental you can find for about $2,000 to $2,100. A soft rule of thumb around the area is about $1,000 to $1,100 per bedroom, depending on the area. So let's go into factor number 2, which is property taxes, right? This is obviously relevant if you're going to be buying a home. But property taxes in the Boston area, the way they assessed them last year was $10.50 for every $1,000 of assessed value. So what that means is for a regular, say you have a regular condo that's maybe worth $500,000 to $600,000 for your property taxes, you're probably going to be looking somewhere in the ballpark of $5,500 to maybe $6,500 per year. Again, obviously it depends on the exact assessed value, but that's just kind of a rough ballpark so you can kind of get a feel of what taxes are like. The other thing to know is if you're going to be owning a property and actually living in it, right, and not using it as a rental property, in Boston you can actually apply for what's called the residential exemption, which can give you a rebate of up to $2,800 off of your property taxes on your property tax bill, which is really nice because basically the city of Boston wants to incentivize home ownership. So for everyone that owner occupies their unit, they can essentially get a discount on their yearly tax bill, which is obviously awesome. Let's talk about number 3 is utilities. So again, utilities, you're going to have a huge variance, right? It's obviously going to depend on the type of utilities you have, the type of unit you live in, and how big it is. But let's say for a 1,000 square foot apartment or a 1,000 square foot condo, what you're typically looking at is about $150 in utilities. And that breaks down to about $50 in an electric bill per month, and then $100 for gas. Now in Boston, it gets really, really cold in the winter, so there's certainly instances where your gas bill could be going up to $150 if you have to keep blasting your heat to stay warm. But on average, you're typically looking somewhere in that vicinity of $150. Now, the good thing is most apartments rather, you won't have to pay water and sewer because that's going to be paid by your landlord for the most part. And if you're going to be owning a condo or a condo, you want to be looking at what's included in your condo fee, right? Because a lot of times you're actually going to have things included in your condo fee like water and sewer, like maybe electricity, like maybe gas, depending on how the systems are structured. So again, this is a kind of a soft rule, but there's a lot of variance depending on how where you live, how the condo fee is structured, how the utilities are structured. But all in all, you are looking about $150 per month. And number 4, and the final factor we're going to look at, is kind of food and groceries. So if you look at some data statistics, you'll see that the average budget for across the U.S. for your monthly groceries is about $325 or so. In Boston, it's definitely going to be higher. I mean, the cost of living here is certainly higher than in other parts of the country. So in Boston, a regular grocery budget might be closer to $450, maybe up to $500, right? Everything is just more expensive in Boston. And the same thing goes true with if you're going to be eating out, right? Your average lunch bill, if you're going to be going out for lunch, grabbing a sandwich and a drink, or going to a quick burrito place, you're typically looking anywhere from $10 to $15. If you're going to be going to more, mid-range restaurants, like let's say you're going to go on a Friday night, you and your husband, you and your wife, you and your girlfriend, whatever it is, and you're going to you're going to go out for a nice dinner. Expect to spend probably somewhere around $60 to $80, right? Drinks can be expensive here. I mean, your alcoholic drinks here can cost $10, $15. Everything is just a lot more expensive here. So, expect to budget more for food, expect to budget more if you decide to go out to eat. So that's what we have for you. That's kind of the general cost of living around the Boston area. Again, obviously much more expensive than other parts of the country, both real estate, taxes, groceries, foods, utilities, everything's just a little bit more expensive because it's an expensive area to live in. So let me know if you have any questions or thoughts in the comments below. And like I said, guys, I get so many calls from you guys, always asking me about the different aspects of living around the Boston area. If you're even thinking about doing anything with real estate, shoot me a call, send me a text, send me an email, whatever it is, and I will respond and I will help you guys and I'll take care of you. So that's it, guys, and I will talk to you later.